I've been able to feed 2 children and still donate milk just by using this method. If you came to this video and you want to know the secret, do not use your fast flow nipple after 10 p.m. Video making tip number 1. Start with a bright sunny day. All right, bear with me. It has been so long since I've done a video. I've been watching myself. I use the word all the time. So, and I do that too. So I want to start out by saying that this is not medical advice. This is, I'm not a medical professional. I am not a lactation consultant or anything like that. I'm just a mom that has a lot of experience with breastfeeding babies. So this is my personal experience and what has worked for me. This may not work for you, but it could. So I'd like to share it because if I can do anything, I can breastfeed well. I can feed babies, I can produce milk. I've overcome a lot of obstacles with breastfeeding. So I'm gonna go through and kind of tell you a little bit about me and my situation and my children. And then I'm gonna tell you one simple secret to storing breast milk when you are nursing another baby, or in my case, nursing 2 under 2. Here we go. Obstacles that I've overcome are breastfeeding a child while I'm going to school full time. So I don't know if you guys have read my description because this is not one of the videos that I normally do. We usually do like family style vlogs, but my daughter is currently 16, almost 17. And when I was 15, I got pregnant and gave birth right before I turned 16. So I was in high school and I was exclusively breastfeeding for 12 months, and I would pump twice a day while at school. And it's kind of a funny situation because the SRO, or student resource officer, gave up his office so that I could go in there and have a pumping area. I don't know if that's something that they would do nowadays, but then in 2004, they were all about trying to accommodate me. I know they were not as many teen moms stayed in school then, so they were doing all that they could to accommodate me, and I greatly appreciate that. Looking back, I can't help but think that it's kind of funny. But if they had not done that, I would have probably been less likely to breastfeed the rest of my children. I've also breastfed a baby that was in the NICU. My son, Bennett, who is 13, was, he has Down syndrome, but my water broke early with him at 29 weeks, and I ended up delivering at 34 weeks. And so we were in the NICU with him for 6 weeks, and I exclusively pumped then. So that was the first time I had really experienced storing breast milk and trying to build up a stash. So along with the Down syndrome, there is low muscle tone, feeding difficulties. He has something called tetralogy of Fallot, which is a heart condition that has been repaired now, but it still has, you know, we don't have problems with it now. It has been repaired, and he has a fully functioning heart and clean bill of health as far as that goes. But when he was a baby, that was a huge deal because it was all about getting calories and making sure that he would be ready for his heart surgery at around 3 months old. At around 3 months old, we also discovered that he was aspirating. And so they ended up placing a G-tube. And at that point, I had to stop feeding him by mouth at all. Before, we were just doing supplemental feeds and kind of thickening the milk, but they completely stopped it at that point. And we were just feeding him through a G-tube. So from 3 months to 12 months, I exclusively pumped to make sure that he could get milk. And we did have to fortify that milk, but I was able to at least give him antibodies through my milk. And so I'm a strong advocate. Prior to that, I think it's important to add this, because I was so successful with feeding my daughter, especially as a teenager. I thought people who said, I just couldn't breastfeed, the first thing I thought was, you're not trying hard enough. And I was so naive. I had no idea. So if you're one of those people, it might come back to bite you in the butt. And in my case, it has pretty much with every child, except for the one that I'm feeding now, but I'll get to that. Like I said, I fortified the milk and I pumped for 9 months, exclusively pumped. Then I didn't have any more children for 11 years. When I got pregnant, I knew I would breastfeed. I came out of work, and so I was lucky enough not to have to do the pumping during the day and provide milk for a babysitter or anything of that nature. But I experienced something that I've never experienced before, and I know it's a lot more common now. I think people are more aware of it. I think that there's something that's causing it too. That's just my opinion from talking to other moms, but my son had a lip tie. He didn't have a tongue tie, but he had a lip tie. It was missed by his pediatrician. It was missed by the doctors at the hospital. It was missed by a lactation consultant at the hospital. No, not one, but 2 consultants at the hospital. And so I eventually sought out my own lactation consultant who confirmed that there was in fact a tie. And she referred us to a pediatric dentist, which then also confirmed it and corrected it. And that breastfeeding journey is still currently happening right now. He's 24 months old and I am feeding him, and it's definitely, I understand now why they call it a journey. It was corrected at around 3 months old. He was a totally different baby after that. I knew something was wrong. So this isn't about lip ties or anything, but let me just go ahead and say, if you think something is wrong, use everything that you have in you to find out what that is, because you don't have that feeling for nothing. There is a reason that you're feeling that, and you need to find out what it is. Don't take no for an answer. Just continue to look for somebody who will listen to you. If you have a gut feeling, go with it. I was told multiple times that there wasn't an issue, and turns out there was. I just needed the right person who was educated on it to tell me what it was. That was a really rough 3 months. He has a different personality from all my other children. He is one of the reasons that we quit doing the family vlog so much. He's very loud. We love him, but he's a loud one. I am now breastfeeding not only Nolan, but also Foster, who is our 3-month-old. And so that was one of the things that kind of brought our vlogs back, was Foster. And we got pregnant when Nolan was around 14 months old. And so they are exactly 22 months apart. Foster is, I think, did I say 3 months? He's almost 3 months. I don't really have anything exciting to say about, no, that doesn't sound right. I have exciting things to say about Foster, but not as far as breastfeeding goes. It has been my most normal, laid back journey of breastfeeding or breastfeeding relationship that I've had so far out of all 4 of my children. That's just his personality. He is laid back, easygoing, just goes with the flow. I don't know how to say mellow, just he's the perfect baby. Now, he did have a very rough start, but it never affected, and if you don't know about that, at this point we've probably, I don't know if this will come out before his birth story, but he had a shoulder dystocia at birth, and so his humerus and clavicle were broken, and it made for a rough start. But we are going strong now. He has had no problems eating. He did have to only nurse on one side. That was a little bit difficult because his injured arm stayed out all the time, so that meant that he was eating on my right breast more. And so normally when people tandem nurse, I think they kind of alternate sides, but in my case I ended up having Foster on one side and Nolan on the other side because it just worked for us. Anyway, that's a little bit of a background about my situation, but that's not why you're here. You're here to find out what you can do to build your stash. I think it's important to point out that everybody has a fast flow and a slow flow nipple, or at least one side that produces more milk. That's just normal. If you don't have that, that's great, but if you do, then I say use it to your benefit, and that's what I've done. So I have my milk maker right here, and then this is the slow flow side. Nolan usually gets the left side because he doesn't nurse as much and it has time to fill up, and then he will eat every once in a while. He doesn't eat at night anymore. The only person that I'm feeding, the only person I'm feeding at night is Foster. Every family's different. Please don't hate. Please don't judge. This is what works for us, so this is what we do. Right now, my 3-month-old is in the bed with me, and he eats several times throughout the night as he feels like he needs to eat. So after 10 p.m., this is the, okay, if you came to this video and you want to know the secret, do not use your fast flow nipple after 10 p.m. Foster usually eats on the side that has more milk because he's obviously in need of it more than Nolan. During the day, I feed him mostly on the right side. He just does better. It's what we started out doing because of his injured arm. And so at night, I switch him to the left side. So when I feed him, I lay on my left side. He lays on his right side, and he eats only on the left side. So my breast that fills up quickly or has the most milk is from 10 p.m. until about 5 p.m. is making a bunch of milk. So in the morning, the first thing that I do when I get up is I pump. This is what I use to pump. I don't use the small bottles because I have to change them out. I get 10 ounces out of this side. They only go up to 8 ounces, as you can see on the bottle. However, there we go, yep. So it goes up to 8 ounces, but if you fill it all the way up to the very, very, very top, that is 10 ounces. So every day I pump 10 ounces, and that's once a day, 10 ounces. That fills up 2 bags, 2 of the Medela bags. I didn't bring those up here. Before I go to bed, I drink plenty of water. This is usually what I have. I'll drink one of these before I go to bed, and usually get up once in the night, but the baby's getting up anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But I do believe that helps. That's not the secret though. I hate when you go to look for what can I do to increase my milk supply, and it's like, drink plenty of water. Well, no, duh, yeah, you gotta drink water, but that's not a secret. That you need water, so drink your water. What I do is I sleep with my baby. I believe from the bottom of my heart that helps your milk supply. Having that close contact, it's bonding, it's comforting for the baby. If the baby's happy, you're calm, the baby's calm. You're all around gonna be in a better mood. It's just the baby and I in the bed. For safety reasons, it makes it easier. We can spread out if we need to, but I can also be close when I want to feed him. So my husband is currently in the guest room and with their toddler, just because that's what works. Because if you've got a crying baby waking up in the middle of the night, you know, then the toddler wakes up, and toddler doesn't go back to sleep as easily. I know some of you mamas can nurse 2 at once. I am not one of those. I don't enjoy it. I don't prefer to do that, so I don't. So anyway, back to what I was saying, and I know I'm all over the place, but that's because I'm talking about touchy stuff. I'm touchy subjects because a lot of people say absolutely do not put your baby in the bed with you. But if you do it safely and there are certain times that I would definitely not put the baby in the bed with me. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It works for us. I get up at 5 a.m. and that is when I pump. I will also say something that I learned when I was hand pumping is that you can't just hook the pump up and expect to get the milk out. Like, that doesn't work. You have to massage it. You have to, and I've thought about like doing an actual video of showing what I do. Here we go. So when you got the breast in there, you've kind of got extra skin up here and down here. You need to really like get under. I can't believe I'm doing this. All right, so look, you have to massage underneath, and it's not just you hook the pump up and the milk comes out, and if the milk is not coming out, something's wrong, or I'm not producing milk. It's not that simple. You have to actually get the milk to come out yourself. So if you put your hand underneath there and you really massage it and do this right here, that's gonna get your milk to come out like that. That's one of the biggest helps. So what I do is I let as much milk that will come out on its own come out, and then I kind of feel with my breast, maybe take the the pump off or whatever, and feel it. There's always going to be more milk in there. Your breast is not going to be completely soft like it would be with your baby nursing. So if you do that, it makes all the difference. Now, I didn't realize this until baby number 3, but you have more than one letdown while you're nursing. You're gonna get more than one letdown. So all of a sudden you're gonna hear it start making more noise as the pump, you're gonna hear the milk hitting the back of this thing right here. It starts to make noise when the milk lets down, and you're gonna see multiple streams. Whereas it starts to die off and then you maybe have 1 or 2 streams coming out, it's gonna all start coming out again. That is a second letdown. Sometimes you can have 3 letdowns. So I'm right at like 2.5, 3 months now with my youngest, and so I'm not producing as much. I can definitely see that 10 ounces is probably going to go back to about 8 now, because it's supply and demand versus the hormones that are producing the milk at this point. I've noticed now that I'm going longer between that first letdown and the second letdown. If you just kind of get up and do something, give yourself like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 if you've got that long, come back and start pumping again, you'll get that second letdown, and you can set yourself a goal. If you don't make a lot of milk, you don't have to. If you can't fill this up, shoot for 5 ounces. 5 ounces freezes the best in the Medela bags. I've found that if you try to put 6, they're harder to store. So go for 5 ounces. Try to do 5 ounces a day. It really does add up. And no, it's not a lot, but it is, even if you don't ever use it, because I had so much milk from when I was breastfeeding my 3rd child, Nolan, that didn't get used. It was just peace of mind. It's a security blanket. It feels so good just knowing that, oh, if something happened, let's say, I don't know, if I get sick and I have to take a medicine, or if I don't want to go to like car accident. I don't want to say illness either, because your babies need the antibodies from any type of illness that you have. But if you're having to take something and you don't want your baby to have it, it is so nice knowing that you've got milk stored, even if you don't ever use it. So what I've been able to do is I've been able to feed 2 children and still donate milk just by using this method. I do have one other thing that I typically do, and I'll put a picture right here of the ingredients that I use. It's like a toast that I eat in the mornings. I use seed-tastic bread, and you can get, like, Aldi has a version. What is it called? Dave's seed-tastic bread. That's a good brand too if you want to spend a little bit more. With maple syrup, cinnamon, pink sea salt, and this one's a little bit harder to find. I usually purchase mine from walmart.com. It's butter flavored coconut. I don't know what it is about that. It may be all in my head, but it seems to really work. So anytime I sold milk or donated milk to a mom, they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What can I do? And so these are the 2 things that I say. I love that snack. I don't know that it really has that big of effect, but pumping once a day, just pump in the morning, and your boob is going to get engorged, and it's a little bit painful, sometimes more than others. Oh, I sleep with just a burp cloth under my shirt. I don't usually sleep in a bra. I just put the burp cloth under there. It leaks out a little bit over the night, but in the morning it's engorged. You get that fullness. It comes out easy. Go back, pump more than once if you need to get that second or even third letdown. That's how I have stored as much milk as I have. I'm not sure what the running total is right now. I did get rid of all of my milk that I had in the freezer with Nolan before it expired. I was able to, because I was eating a plant-based diet then, I was able to make a little bit of money off of that, because that's kind of harder to find, or parents that are wanting their kids to only receive or not receive certain things. So I was able to sell some milk, but I was also able to donate some milk. I was able to help somebody out that was going through chemo. That made me feel so great to know that I was helping a mama out. I was able to help a mom out that didn't have money to buy formula. I use Facebook for this purpose. Just recently we went to the beach, and we were staying in a camper with my grandma, and there was nowhere to store the milk. So I just put something on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in town. If you'd like to come pick it up, I'll have about 40 ounces. Come and get it if your baby can use it. And so, you know, it's nice to be able to help people out, even if you can't use it for your baby. But it is a security blanket, and I do know the stress of, I don't have enough. After I pump, I'll kind of get back in the bed and feed Foster one more time on this side while he's in the bed, and then I get up and we'll do our morning routine, and I'll fix Nolan breakfast. And by this point they've sort of equalized, and Nolan will, after he eats breakfast, he'll usually nurse on this side, and then he'll nurse again before he goes down for a nap, and then again at bedtime. So during the day, this side only gets used like 3 times. It's not a lot, but he's able to empty it out faster and more efficiently than Foster, who only eats on this side. I don't know what more I'll want to add to this video. I hope that I've answered some questions. Please be nice. I know that everybody believes different things about, well, baby shouldn't be in the bed with you, or baby shouldn't be eating after 12 months of age. Just be respectful. Be respectful in the comments. Be respectful to me, please, because I'm putting myself out there by sharing this. I just picked up a cone and rubbed my boob in front of, you know, strangers, so please be nice. But I do hope that this helps somebody. I know I hate when moms are just distraught about not being able to feed their babies, or that it's just such a bad feeling. So if I'm able to help just one person, that would be great. I will be more than happy to answer more questions. I feel like I'm all over the place, but I don't normally do sit down videos, so I am trying my best here. I think that, oh, I do want to say this. I just recently got a new breast pump, because with each pregnancy my insurance covers another breast pump. I've been using the Medela Pump and Style Advanced, I believe. Yeah, Medela Pump and Style Advanced. This one's Old Faithful. It's loud. I didn't know how loud it was until I got a new one. So I recently got the Medela Pump in Style Max Flow. That one's quiet, and it's got a new sucking sensation that's more like those flutter sucks that babies do. It's really neat. I do like that. I am not 100% sure how I feel about it yet, but once I decide, I'm gonna do a video and kind of compare the two, so be on the lookout for that. I'll try to link it, or either be on the end card at the end of this video. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. I would love to be able to help somebody out. Please click like on this video. You can subscribe to our channel by clicking on this M down here in the corner, and we will see you again next week.